Hey there and welcome back to the kitchen. Today I want to talk about things that go with the main dish or the piece of protein, be that chicken, beef, lamb, fish. So we're talking about sides, we're talking about dressings, we're talking about accompaniment. And I think the key here is to start simple. And it might be as simple as adding some lemon juice or some olive oil to your salad or your steak or whatever it may be. Then as you get more comfortable with being inside the kitchen and experimenting with some of the things in your pantry, you might want to go from that drizzle of olive oil to maybe a vinaigrette. And what that means is adding some vinegar, some oil, some Dijon mustard, giving it a vigorous shake, either manually or in a blender, and you've got yourself a vinaigrette. Then, if you want to spice that up with some spices and some herbs, fresh or dried, then you can do so and add some garlic. And then you've got this really complex vinaigrette dressing. And all we're doing today is an extension on that vinaigrette base. So a vinaigrette is typically, and this really does come down to preference, but it's typically 3 parts oil, 1 part vinegar. I actually like a more acidic dressing, so I'm going to go a higher ratio of acidity with my vinegar, and today I'm going to use a blend of apple cider vinegar and red wine vinegar. But really all this dressing is an elevation of that basic rudimentary vinaigrette of Dijon mustard, olive oil and a vinegar. So all we're going to do is add a few more ingredients, and we've got pretty much what we call a salsa verde. Now salsa verde has a few interpretations or variations of, and today I've just got some fresh basil and fresh mint that I've just picked from the garden. But everything else is sort of fairly typical of a salsa verde. Now, when you serve this up to your friends and family and loved ones, or yourself for that matter, you're going to be delighted and impressed with yourself, and they're going to be impressed with you because they're going to think, wow, you've created something amazing in the kitchen. But really all it is, there's no complex skills necessarily. We're going to chuck everything in a blender. It's very straightforward, it's very easy, there's no chopping. And the beauty is that it goes well with lamb, with fish, with beef, because, and why might this be the case? Because it does have that acidity and that herbaceous roots, it cuts through the fattiness of fish, of chicken, of lamb, of beef. And sometimes you need that balance within the complexity of your dish. So all we're going to do is get a blender. Actually, I might start with a smaller one. No, I'll go with this one. And all we're going to do is create that base of the Dijon mustard. So very typical of a vinaigrette, you're going to start with Dijon mustard, olive oil, then the vinegars. So a teaspoon of Dijon mustard. Then to that we're going to add some garlic. So I've got some peeled garlic here. I'm going to put 1 clove in. Now I'm going to add some chili. So up to you if you want to de-seed these, if you want to go long red, green chili, something that's mild, or a shorter, smaller chili with a bit more heat. There's no rules here. There's actually no rules in cooking unless you're doing chocolate or baking. Then there are a few rules to adhere by. I'm going to add some anchovies. Again, not everyone's cup of tea, but I can guarantee you probably won't tell once it's in the dressing per se. I'm going to add some capers, about a teaspoon of capers. And then we're going to add the liquids, so the olive oil and the vinegars. So as I say, I'm going to go for about a 2 to 1. So 2 parts olive oil and 1 part some apple cider, and a bit of red wine. Okay, and then to that, as I said, we got, there's no rules with this. I've just picked some fresh mint, some fresh basil. If you wanted to use parsley or coriander, you certainly could. So I'm just going to add that. So it's very herbaceous, very acidic, has a strong ability to cut through that fattiness. Oh, that is delicious. So all we got to do then is transfer it to a little glass jar. And there you go. You got a herbaceous, acidic Salsa Verde, perfect with a piece of fish, piece of chicken, piece of lamb, piece of beef. So get amongst it, guys. Start experimenting. Start with something very simple. Squeeze a lemon, some olive oil, and then maybe add a vinaigrette, olive oil, vinegar, Dijon mustard, maybe some chopped coriander, chopped parsley, some chopped garlic, and then just start to layer on all these other ingredients until voila, you got something as delicious and healthy as that. All right, thanks for listening, guys. I'll see you soon.